up, you guys? It's your girl Kim. I'm here today to show you guys how to make Southern smothered chicken wings, so stay tuned for this special recipe tutorial.
Alright guys, so to get started with this recipe, it's a very simple recipe. So first things first, I went ahead and washed my chicken off camera. So I went ahead and got that all nice and clean, got the feathers out because we don't want to be eating no feathers, y'all. So when you get your chicken clean, you just want to go ahead and get your seasonings ready. Now, these are the seasonings that I'm going to be using. If you don't really like all of this type of stuff, you can honestly use your seasonings of choice. Me personally, I like to use all of these. So that's what I'm going to be going ahead and using. So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just get started seasoning my chicken. Now, I don't really use measurements when it comes to seasoning. I just kind of eyeball my seasoning. Like, you'll know when enough is enough. So, you just kind of eyeball it. So, I've used salt, I've used pepper. Now, I'm using my seasoning salt. Just a little bit of that since I already used salt. Because it's pretty much the same thing. I'm using my garlic powder. A little bit of that. Onion powder. Put some onion up in that thing. And Goya for flavor. Because this just spices all of those seasonings that I already put in. This just kicks all of them off to me. So, I love Goya. Goya. And then we're going to be using our paprika. Not for a taste because it don't taste like nothing. It just tastes like smoked powder. So, we're not using it for taste. We're using it for color, guys. Because when we bake the chicken, we're going to oven fry it. And we want it to be nice and crisp and have like that nice toasted effect. So, this is what the paprika is for. We are not using the paprika for taste. Oh, no, honey. No, we are not. So, once you season your chicken, you're going to go in and we're just going to stir our seasonings and make sure that we get everything everywhere. Like that. Uh-oh, one of my little wings unfolded. I think I might need to change my dog's dog food because he haven't been reacting well to this dog food that we've been giving him. So I'm just mixing this on up, guys. Nothing special, nothing pretty. You mix it and you mix it. Okay? You mix and you mix. And you mix. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and rinse my hands because that was just very nasty. Okay. So, we now have our chicken all nice and seasoned. Now we're going to just get ready to prepare our pan. Now, so with our pan, it's nothing fancy today. I just moved. So I'm actually trying to replace a lot of my silverware and cooking utensils. I'm just peeling the sticker off the back here, guys. Excuse me. Hold on. So we did used to have a glass pan similar to this, but it was glass. So I just went out and had to get a replacement one. We had to get rid of that one. I went out and got a replacement one. So if you have a glass one or if you have an aluminum one, it is perfectly fine. It's going to cook the exact same way. So it doesn't even matter. Now, what I like to do, I'm going to take a little bit of cooking oil. A little bit of cooking oil in the bottom of my pan. And just let it spread through thoroughly and evenly, like so. I help it out a little bit. I help it out a little bit by moving it around. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just place my chicken in the pan. I already have my oven on. It is preheating at 450 degrees. I'm actually going to turn it down because that's very high. So the temperature I recommend would be 400 degrees or even 350. It's up to you how fast you want your food to cook. Me personally, I cook everything on 450 degrees. And I don't burn my food or anything. I know that's kind of a high temperature, but I don't burn my food. My food comes out perfectly fine. But for this, I'm going to be cooking my chicken on 400 degrees. So I'm going to actually turn my oven down when I go ahead and place these in there. So I recommend a 400 degree oven. And you're going to bake your chicken at 400 degrees for about 45 minutes, anywhere to an hour. The preference is completely yours because it's about how oven fried you want your chicken to be. I love a crisp to my chicken, especially for this recipe, because when you pour that gravy on top, you want it to stay nice and crisp. You want that gravy to just marinate around everything and not lose its texture. So personally, I'm going to let mine get very crispy, very oven fried, and I'm going to take it out when it's to my liking. I just like it to be very nicely coated in brown on top. So we're going to go ahead and place our chicken in our oven, and we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. Get back. Okay, you guys, so I have my chicken in the oven, and now what we're going to do is I went ahead and rinsed out this same bowl that I prepped my chicken in, nice and clean. And we're going to go ahead and get started on our gravy. Now, I like to make a homemade gravy. And that consists of a few things. So, for starters, I'm going to take my flour. I'm going to take 1 cup of flour. I'm going to take 1 cup of flour. Okay. That's my 1 cup of flour. I'm going to be using a little salt. Okay. Once again, I'm just eyeballing my seasonings. Once again, Once again, I'm just eyeballing my seasonings because you do want the mixture, the gravy mixture, to be flavorful as well. So we're just gonna add some pepper in here. Yep. We're going to add some garlic. A little bit of onion powder. And I also like to add in some minced onion as well. So I don't have the time to really cut up any onions. You can also add cut up onion to this recipe, but I did not cut up any onions, so I'm going to use our minced onion and that paprika again, just for color, because you want your gravy to be a nice brown. Now what I like to go ahead and do now is take 1 cup of milk. I know some people that use cream. I know some people that use all types of dairy for this step, but my advice is to use what you have. I have milk, so that's what I'm going to be using. Not having a certain ingredient does not stop you from being able to cook. So I would highly advise you guys to just use what you have. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a little stir. Now what I'm going to do is, we want about 8 cups of liquid in this gravy. So since I've used 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of flour, I'm going to do another 6 parts water, more or less. So there's that water. Because you want it to be enough to smother that chicken. You have to put enough. You have to make a decent amount mixture. So I'm just going to stop at 3 cups for now. I have 3 cups of water in here. And you want to take your whisk and you want to whisk this mixture up, you guys. I actually want my mixture to be a little more brown than it is. So I'm going to add just a little more paprika. You guys, if you feel the need to add more or less of anything, please do so. Please do so. Because everybody's taste buds are not the same. And the way I make my mixture may not be to your liking. So you just have to do things your way. Going to go ahead and add a little more water. All right. Whisk this mixture up. And you want to make sure that you're disintegrating all of that flour, because you don't want a floury gravy. And you can actually taste when there's still flour in the mix. So it's very important to take your time, take the time out. Put your strong arm on and whisk, honey. Whisk. Whisk, whisk, whisk. Okay. thing about me, I like to taste my food. Because you don't want to get halfway into a recipe and get to adding things and putting it all over things and it's not the way you want it. So even though this isn't like the best thing to taste, I'm going to go ahead and taste this mixture, okay? Okay? And it is definitely not to my liking. So I'm going to salt this thing up a little bit more. Yes, ma'am. Excuse my dog, you guys. He's crazy. You have any dog owners? They be crazy, don't they? They just be in their own little world doing their own little thing. Like mine. She's going nuts. Hey! I don't know what he's doing or why. What are you doing? Okay. Alright, I got you. I understand. Alright, you guys. So we have our chicken fresh out of the oven. Nice and oven fried. Nice and crispy. So we're just going to go ahead and get that gravy poured over this chicken. We're just going to go ahead and just take this delicious mixture and just pour it all over. All over your chicken. Okay. Don't worry about messes. Messes can be cleaned. So now that you have your gravy poured over, we're going to go ahead and place this back into the oven for about another 15 to 20 minutes, and I'll be back to show you guys the end result. All right, guys, we have our chicken fresh out of the oven. Look at that gravy, y'all. Ooh. So I have white rice and broccoli on the side. We're going to smother our rice with this gravy. And we're going to have us a good time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. I hope you guys like this recipe and can follow this recipe at home. And make this for your loved ones, your husband, your friends, your family, yourself. And I will be back with more cooking tutorials for you guys soon. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, you guys. I have more cooking videos coming for you all soon. As always, stay tuned and stay posted. Bye.